Hello everyone, in this video I'm looking at something a bit different, which will be a camouflage. This one on screen, which is the new Silver Vanguard camouflage for the Super Conqueror. It has just come in an event called Armoured Cavalry, and it is the typical Blitz paid event format. So the top row of rewards, you can only earn them by buying gold in the store and getting these coins in those gold bundles. It's not really worth it unless you really want some of these rewards, which include a new avatar, the Super Conqueror Camo, which you can see is on the last stage I bought, and then of course this Cavalry Mystery Certificate containing some of the newer premium and collector tanks in the game. It's not really worth it though, because they are just quite expensive. Of course there is this new profile background as well if you want to get that, but again it's very expensive to get. So the top row of rewards is just paid, but the bottom row of rewards you can earn by just winning battles. Of course some of the main prizes you can get are the new camouflage, which I'm showing here. Not the Super Conqueror, that's just a general camouflage. Some crates, like the mystery box and collect them all, and of course the Churchill Mark 6, which is a very nice, overpowered tier 6 heavy tank which has very reliable armor and a great gun. Finally, you can get 10 of these crates, which contain 4 antique coins, allowing you to reach level 2 of the paid rewards, which does mean you can earn yourself 1 awesome container and 500,000 credits. Just for your information, the awesome container I believe is 15 coins, and then the credits are 25 coins, so just the perfect amount, giving you 40. But I will very quickly look at this Super Conqueror camouflage and then show you a bundle which the Super Conqueror is currently available in, and then show a battle. But here is the Super Conqueror camouflage. It has these very nice details of a sort of knight's armor with very intricate sort of parts on the turret, of course, and of course the front of the hull. It's also got a nice detail of having a sword and shield on the rear and this sort of cape thing around the turret. But overall, very cool looking camouflage. It will probably come back in-game in the future, so I wouldn't lose your mind over this if you really did want this camo, and it just costs too much money, because frankly it does. Quickly cutting in, because I thought I should show this camo in the, well, in the lighting of a map, because I was taking the thumbnail for this video and I thought, hey, the lighting is very nice and you can really see the details on the camo, especially on the upper plate here, and of course the nice lighting of the Hellas map with it shining off the tank's armor, knight-like armor. You can also see all the nice details on the turret with the different shadows and lighting like there. And then of course you can just zoom in on the different details of the tank's camo, such as the gun engraving there. So I thought, whoops, I should show it in a map instead of the garage, well, on top of the garage. But you can see all the really nice details on this camo here. Including some engravings I didn't notice before on the side armor of the tank. But yeah, that is the camo of the Super Conqueror, the new one. I'll get back to the video. But that is the camo. Very quickly, let me look at the bundle for the Super Conqueror. So this is on the Wargaming Premium shop. You can see it up here. In any section of the shop, of course, you can also see these gold bundles which have the coins. But this is the Super Conqueror bundle. Oops. It does contain the tank, of course, the Rex legendary camouflage, which isn't the one I showed you, it's a different camo, and of course 10 different containers, which is pretty nice. The bundle, the price is roughly 25 to 30 pounds, dollars, depending where you are. Very quickly I'll look at the Super Conqueror, just as this is a sort of mini review. It has very reliable armor, Basically no weak points other than the lower plate, and when you do use premium ammo you can penetrate the cupola with heat or around the gun. The same goes for when you're hull down, except there is no cupola. The gun is very nice, it's got great DPM, it's got good penetration, it's got HESH with 85mm penetration, and it has pretty mediocre aim time and dispersion, but it's made up for by great gun handling. Next, mobility. It's decent, but it's not great. 36 forwards and a 12.9 horsepower per ton rate on hard terrain and 10.9 on medium. It won't be quite as fast as a lot of the heavy tanks you're used to in tier 10, but it's not extremely slow either. Remember, this tank is really well armoured. And one thing not to forget, it does have reactive armour, which does make it quite a meta vehicle, allowing it to absorb 27% of the damage it takes when that consumable is active. But quickly, let me just show a game of this tank on Molendyke, and you'll also be able to see the camo in in-game lighting, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go right towards base A, the reason being enemies only have one heavy tank, which is a Conqueror, and he is not extremely well armoured, and unlikely to go towards base C when he sees that there is a Minotauro, me, and a T-57 on the enemy team. So here you can see the camo of the Super Conqueror, the lighting from Molendyke reflecting off this right side of the tank, so it does look very nice and shiny. There actually had a bit of lag, which is why I turned a bit odd. But you can see the light reflecting on those intricate turret details at the front, which does make it look very cool. But you can sort of see the level of mobility this tank has. It's not extremely slow, but it's not as fast as a lot of other tier 10 tanks, such as, for example, the E5 or a Chieftain. So here I'm going to activate reactive, as I'm expecting to push over this ridge and might take a shot or two, which I do. 258 instead of the usual 370 from that Projet Murat. But you can see what's just very nice about the Super Conqueror here, which is the ability to hold a position and go hull down. It's got very nice 10 degrees of gun depression, it's got a great gun, and it's just got that reliable armor profile. So this battle is not going to be anything super amazing, I just had one very quickly in the tank. This is more sort of an average battle from at least my caliber of player. I did shoot a HESH at the side of that tank there, but he was already dead, so oh well. But now you can see, as this flank has been won, we're just going to start pushing forward, and this Minotauro does use his reserve shell to finish off that pattern. But here I'm expecting the Jagdpanzer to be up in that bush, and he was. Considering my hit points though, I didn't necessarily lose too much by taking that shot. Though if I had activated reactive armor, which you should be using in this tank, it would have reduced the damage from that Jagdpanzer significantly. So this game, nothing amazing, but you can see what's sort of nice on this tank. Hull down, gun depression gameplay, and the ability to hold and absorb damage well. Also this tank just coordinating a very nice push on that flank there, as I do get a lot of assistance for, well, all the spotting and pushing on that side. So almost 4,000 combined, 2,000 raw damage, and you can see I do make 95,000 credits, which is pretty decent. But yeah, that's it. Very quick review of this tank, of this cool new camo, so you can get a preview of it without actually having to buy it yourself in the game. But if you do want this camo and it is too expensive, don't worry too much, as it is very likely to come back in the future. But yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching.